So, while Assassin's Creed has been successful in sales with over 3 million players over a span of just over 2 weeks, still isn't quite enough to get them back on track to where they need to be in order to accelerate the company. It's actually falling behind a few titles on Steam and on the Ubisoft store. It's just not quite enough. But what just happened at Ubisoft could reshape the future of other games like the Division franchise, and in ways that you probably didn't expect. After the sales have been revealed and everything that's happened after all the drama with Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft overall, the dust is kind of settling, and Ubisoft has revealed their next plan moving forward. For me, this is very good news. Some say it's good and bad news, mixed reviews. What just happened is going to give the Division franchise exactly what it needs to expand its horizons and really flourish in the way that it did from the beginning when Division 1 dropped. So let me just get right into what happened, okay? Tencent got involved. There was a subsidiary created wherein Tencent invested $1.16 billion to retain a 25% economic stake in this subsidiary. So many people are focusing on this massive investment, but there's something missing in that announcement, something important. The Division, like I said, and that's exactly what we're going to break down in this video, a major shift in how it operates. After the sales, I guess they realized that, okay, it's not enough money to do what we want to do organically or how we've always been doing things. The jig is up. I mean, nobody really wants to follow that model anymore of how Assassin's Creed were doing things. Even in Shadows, they have a store where you can purchase new gear that helps you be better, like a poison armor set, weapons, all kind of stuff that you can buy. And I think people are tired of this pay to win or pay to play, not necessarily to win, but a lot of people just want an organic experience. And before Assassin's Creed launched, Ubisoft was in talks with Tencent about them buying the company, but Ubisoft and Guillemot family didn't want to give up control of the company, so Tencent backed out. But this deal, this subsidiary that was struck, is exactly up their alley. Here's the goal, right? This will now manage the development of Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six. Tencent, like I said, is investing $1.16 billion into this new entity for a 25% economic stake to turn these franchises into evergreen multi-platform ecosystems, basically long-term, constantly updating game worlds with frequent content drops, social integration, and likely more free-to-play and live service elements. And I think all three of these games are primed for an evolution like this, honestly, with Tencent. But The Division and Ghost Recon, by the way, Ghost Recon is something that didn't fully realize its potential when they canceled production of a few of their projects. So I think there's a lot of great potential with them. And these two games are not part of this new Tencent controlled setup. This tells us everything. You know, Ubisoft intentionally kept The Division and Ghost Recon in their core structure. That means full creative and operational control over all IPs stays in-house. This is significant. This is the big news I was talking about. And I made a video a while ago talking about how when I first saw the Chinese Division, it was like a grind fest. There were so many features on that game that made it very undesirable to play. There was little freedom in the customization of the weapons. You had a daily limit for farming materials. It just was set up for a live service, paid cash grind fest. So the purpose of that video was, okay, what if the Division 3 goes down this path if Tencent buys Ubisoft or control a major stake within the company? Good thing is that didn't happen because, like I said, they backed off. And with the new subsidiary, some might think that they're being left out of big money, but it's actually a huge opportunity. Ubisoft is clearly dividing its IP between live service franchises powered by Tencent backing and core Ubisoft franchises that still have a soul and maybe something bigger coming. Ubisoft explicitly stated they're focusing on nurturing iconic franchises like The Division. That means this franchise isn't being sidelined, it's being protected. And that's significant because if a Division 3 is truly on the horizon, and it looks more and more likely, Ubisoft may finally be setting the stage to recapture the impact that Division 1 had back in 2016. The gritty realism, the tense PvEVP, survival, in a snow-covered Manhattan, the Dark Zone, it carved out an entire new genre of gamers, the RPG looter-shooter. And you know, they weren't able to do this before. This is why so many projects got canceled, and this is why it's so significant for the game. When they were developing Heartland, in the midst of that, Avatar was being developed, Star Wars, Skull and Bones, and all of those projects either got canceled or were terrible, flops. So they weren't able to nurture Heartland like it should have been. And I've played Heartland extensively. The game was great. Actually, I think they were using it as a test bed to see how they're going to create future Division projects like the Division 3. And I really wish they go down that path. But the game felt like it was complete Heartland. It did. It felt like a complete game. We were able to play modes with friends, but the lack of focus and nurturing that it needed wasn't there because of everything else that they were developing and all the potential money they felt they were going to get. Turns out everything went south. And now that Assassin's Creed is mediocre at best when it comes to sales and player review, it's mixed reviews. Players gave it an 8 out of 10. I'm playing the game right now. I'm covering it. It's actually a good game, but I don't know. It's Assassin's Creed. So many people, including those who are wanting it to fail, they don't want anything good said about the game. It's either the game is terrible or nothing else. No room for improvement or anything. So with that pressure on the backs of them succeeding, it won't really be a good outcome. So I think this subsidiary was the best option for them, and Tencent jumped right on it. If you don't know about Tencent, they're a company that thrives on a live service model. This is the path they're gonna go with Assassin's Creed Rainbow Six and Far Cry. And I think it's a good path because if a game franchise is getting pretty shallow, it needs to be in an area that promotes that style of gameplay. I want something that's deep, immersive, and something that takes me back to what I felt when I first played The Division. And with The Division staying clear of the new Tencent model, that means it's not being turned into a monetization first, microtransaction-heavy experience. Like so many Tencent games, you don't have to worry about The Division 3 becoming some watered-down mobile-style grindfest. Ubisoft holding on to it means creative freedom stays intact, and the design focus can return to what actually works, not what monetizes best. And I think this is important for the community. For so long, we've been waiting for some news, some glimmer of light, some glimmer of hope for the future of the franchise. And I think this is it. With the freedom to be able to focus completely on these IPs, they're pretty much unstoppable. And nothing can interrupt that process because nobody has creative control except for Ubisoft. So let me wrap this video up because it's getting pretty long. I just felt I had to come on here and talk about this because it's important for the future. And I'm hyped about it. It's a signal. Division, it's being given room to evolve on its own terms. And that gives me hope. Because if Ubisoft really wants to rebuild trust with their longtime players, if they want to reignite the loyalty and excitement that the Division 1 sparked in all of us, then this is the moment to act. The path is clear, and the franchise we love might just get the fresh start it needs and come back stronger than ever. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Is this the setup for Division 3's return to greatness, or is Ubisoft just buying more time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this conversation, then like the video. And don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I'll see you in the next one. Be right out.